What is going to happen with the tariffs? What will happen in 90 days? Are they going to reinstate the tariffs or are they going to have some concessions? The problem with these tariffs is going to limit the economic growth globally.
Don't you think it's kind of strange that 2 or 3 days ago fake news affected a lot markets and then White House denied this fake news? Don't you think like Trump is playing with the markets as well?
What are your thoughts about, let's say, S&P 500?
I expect eventually the price to go much more lower. What do you think about tariffs? What will be the future impact on the markets with all this crazy amount of percentages?
So I think, like, just to put the things in context, so we have had now I think 1 week of like really crazy moves on the market. So S&P was I think up yesterday 9% from the lows after Trump said that he will pause the tariff increase for 90 days, and everything went up. So but to answer your question in terms of the tariffs, I think markets are going to remain in a range, and because people are having difficulties to estimate what is going to happen with the tariffs. So what will happen in 90 days? Are they going to reinstate the tariffs or are they going to have some concessions, etc.? So I think the tariff topic is going to be on the headlines and in the minds of the traders for the next 3 months at least. And so stock markets, I think, have limited potential and risk assets in general, limited potential of going higher because the risk is still there that Donald will reinstate the tariffs. And the other thing I think what is important is if you look at specific markets like China. So for China, he actually increased last night the tariffs. And what I saw yesterday, for example, when Nvidia was going up 20% and Apple was like up 15%, then Chinese stocks listed on the US markets were slightly higher, but only slightly. And this tells me that we have a lot of stress in the Chinese stock markets and very limited potential of that these stocks going higher. So coming out of the stock market, I think the problem with these tariffs is definitely going to limit the economic growth globally. And why? So I think if somebody is like planning to build some factory or make like huge investments any part of the world today, then and he needs financing for that, then I think banks are going to become extremely reluctant in terms of giving loans to like new products like production facilities, infrastructure projects, anything like production related, because how can you invest in a production facility today if, for example, tomorrow you have a risk that your product will have a 50% tariff? Sure. So this means that in a lot of industries, the economy is going to stall for the next months, maybe even year or two, because of this uncertainty about the tariffs. And this will have an economic impact, and it will start affecting negatively also the stock market.
And don't you think it's kind of strange that like 2 or 3 days ago, fake news affected a lot the markets, and then the White House denied about this fake news, and then suddenly 2 days later, Donald Trump confirms this kind of fake news that was. Don't you think it's strange? Don't you think it's like I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, but don't you think like Trump is playing with the markets as well?
Like I have a feeling lately that, especially with Donald Trump, that when in the past, people who tried to manipulate the markets or were doing something inside, they tried to like be very much hidden, that nobody knows about what they are doing, and nowadays. Pretty much the biggest manipulator of the markets is and publicly manipulating the markets is the president of the US. So I think it's like very disturbing in that sense that you are not able to assess what is going to be the direction of the markets, because you don't know the direction of the policies. And what impact this will have on the markets is that because there is so much uncertainty and there is so much volatility, S&P dropping in a few days 10%, then going up in one half a day like 9%, the position sizes on the markets are already decreasing a lot. So it means that the markets across the board will have less liquidity, which means that those guys who have bigger positions to close their trading on the markets is going to move the markets a lot. Whereas before we had more liquidity, you could open even larger positions at ease, So I think that's the impact. I think it's not really conspiracy theory. I think it's like that's what is happening. But maybe we can all as traders learn from this. That yesterday we talked about that probably Trump is going to roll back the tariffs.
Yeah,
and this is what seems to be the case. So that so he comes out with very powerful message that he will tax or tariff everybody in the world, the markets will drop, and then he quietly starts rolling back his kind of actions. And the same thing happened, remember, when they started with Mexico and Canada.
Yeah.
That like huge tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and then he started rolling back. So somewhat one could say that the moves that or the message that Trump is giving is probably even an opportunity for the traders to exploit this, because the probability is very high that he will roll back these policies. That's what the history of the last few months has shown us.
And what do you think about newcomers? Do you think this could be a good time, a good moment to jump into the markets? Is it too dangerous? What do you think about this? Could be an opportunity for newcomers, or it's too dangerous right now?
Well, in general, in markets, there is always some danger and there is always some, risk that you need to manage. But I think so there are two sides to this. So one side is that because there is so much happening on the markets and the markets are moving so much, then definitely there are more opportunities. And let's say for intraday momentum traders, that's like a great market to be in, But on the other side, if you move from opportunities to risks, then it's definitely harder to manage risks now, because the volatility is so high that if you have close stop losses, for example, that the stop losses get hit, so often. So it's hard to make longer term bets. But it's hard to also play short term, because there is so much, short term volatility on the market that you oftentimes get pushed out. So I think, yes, more opportunities, but also people should try to be more cautious and manage their risk, much better. And
Yeah, the stop losses are very huge, especially on gold right now. You have basically 1 minute candles that are 100 pips, 150 pips. They are moving crazy right now. And
I mean, all the markets that you look yesterday, I was checking that so crude oil, US crude oil was at 55. then a couple of minutes later it was like 62. So that's like a 10% movement in the largest commodity market in the world. Like and imagine like if you're trading like huge positions and so it's impossible to trade to a certain extent. Like
mostly to swing trade. Maybe right now the intraday could be the best.
Yeah.
In order to prevent, the risks. And because if Trump get out with a news right now, maybe it can destroy your setup, And if you close day by day, I most of the time prefer doing swing trading, but I think that right now intraday maybe could be the safest approach, because you close day by day, you limit the risks, and because the news are coming up at whatever time right now, and this could be the safest option for me.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And what we have seen also at TTP is that so the client like average position sizes have decreased, and also the duration of the trades have decreased. So positions are smaller, and the trades are kept for much shorter time. And my advice, even though I can't give like investment advice, is that in general try to be flat going into the next trading day, because you never know like what news are coming out during the night. And but let me ask you this actually, like what is your what are your thoughts about let's say S&P 500 over the next weeks?
Okay, I was thinking about this was like that cat bounce, and suddenly it happened like this kind of news of the 90 days pause. So maybe we can expect to see the price ranging and consolidating over those levels. But I expect eventually the price to go much more lower. Well,
to what level? So S&P right now, as we are talking, is I think 5,450. So from 6,200 we dropped to 4,800. We are now up at 5,450. So you think where the S&P 500 is going and when?
4,300. I'm not guessing. I'm just analyzing the charts and seeing what they're telling me with an objective perspective. And what I do see right now is that the price isn't touching such a interesting area. So this could be like a manipulation, a dead cat bounce, in order to take strength, to take momentum, power, in order to push the price down, and to make the market think that the downside movement has finished. I think Trump creates like this kind of news movements in order to reset the overpriced pricing in value, of the stock market. And this has to happen every roughly 4-5 years. It happened in 2020, 2022, and because the valuation are crazy right now. Who is the crazy guy that will buy maybe Nvidia at 1,000, and so on? They are all overpriced. But by the way, I think, by fundamental analysis, by analyzing what are the plans of Trump, I think that the plans are not that bad. Because if you analyze his plan, the US has 36 trillion in debt. And right now, the plans are to spend like 8 billion. So they are going to to get, and the revenues are of 6 trillion. So they are going to get in debt of 2 billion. And the plans is to earn roughly 5 billion, 500 billion, sorry, to 1 trillion in revenues from tariffs. And
so they want to balance the budget.
Yeah, they want to balance the budget in order to let the US grow. And they will do also for Doge. I mean, the department that is owned by Elon Musk, that is managed by Elon Musk. They are going to cut expenses for 1 trillion. They are going to deregulate a lot of things. So imagine how the markets and how US would react afterwards. If you
so you think that long term, like US is probably the place where you want to invest, because many things that administration is doing are like economically wise things that to do.
And also because if all of those targets are hit, then eventually US and the plan of Trump is to decrease corporate tax from 21% to 15%, and to reduce the personal income of incomes above 150K to 0%.
Personal income tax.
Yeah. They are going to cut the personal income tax. So imagine US like paradise.
So am I correct to say that if we look at like longer term, the next few years, and if we look at the currency markets, then you are more favorable towards US dollar compared to euro? Like let's touch a bit the euro dollar.
Maybe in the future, yes. Yeah. We are most of the time we see like politicians that don't keep their words. Trump do his stuff. Trump is how can I say, is keeping everything he plans to do, he does. So I think that this is the economic agenda of Trump. And if he's going to maintain all the agenda, we will face to a huge growth in the US, and a huge growth in the US market as well.
To be honest, I completely agree with you. Even though, you know, some of the policies of Trump and, you know, his messages are quite controversial, I think fundamentally, they are doing a lot of things right. So especially like deregulation, balancing the budget, and bringing more investments in lowering the taxes. So economically, these are all very like reasonable steps that they are making.
Imagine how much capital are they going to attract to their country, investors.
Yeah. But one thing I wanted to ask from you, and those who don't know, is Roberto is actually a professional gold trader. So his favorite instrument is gold. And a couple of days ago, he had a live trading session for our audience, our community. Whereas I think gold was trading like 2,970.
Yeah.
And you in live mode said that it's a moment to buy, and the target was 3,090, I think.
Yeah.
So to be honest, gold actually moved in that direction, and pretty much from the moment you said that it will move, it started to move, and we were, I think, as of a few minutes ago, gold was 3,120, so it actually exceeded your target. So as a TTP, we have a lot of gold traders as well. So what's your what's your next next projection for gold?
Okay, we have to give time to the price, but I think that eventually the price will go to 3,200, roughly this area, because structures, it's long. I mean, the market structure is bullish. It's still bullish, and with this kind of pause in tariffs, we can have the boost to see maybe the price higher right now. Okay, so I think that the price will touch 3,200.
When?
You want the timing? Okay. Maybe let's see if we can see it maybe next week.
Okay.
If the price correctly breaches the previous all-time hikes, then we go again in price discovery, and then the price tends to move very aggressively to reach new hikes.
So all of you pay attention. So have a look at the stock market and well, let's see how the gold is going to behave. In general, what I wanted to also share with our audience is that we try to bring to our community and to various content and the podcast what we are doing. Successful traders, people who have seen success in trading, who are trading specific asset classes or specific strategies, and I like to really have Roberto and his partner Nicola behind there as well, visiting Madrid this week because they are professional traders, especially gold and some related commodities. And the last thing I wanted to ask is that tell us more about this event that you are going to have in the end of June, where I will also take part in.
You will be the special guest, Illimar. This event will be huge. Yeah, we are going to create an event, and that will take place on June, the last day of June, so the 30th of June. Will take place in Napoli, and it will be amazing because we will have hosts like you. I will live trade with all the audience in the New York market session, so it would be very stimulating environment with you close to us and with me close to the audience and the academy. And also we will host a psychologist for traders. So this could be very interesting for the traders that are facing emotional problems, and because this psychologist will teach them some practical techniques in order to overcome to anxiety, to stress from trading and stuff like this. So it can be an opportunity to learn by you, by me as well, and by psychologists to grow their experience in trading, to maybe build network as well, because getting in touch with people like you and getting in touch also with other traders, talented traders, could be very useful for a trader career. Even though if you are experienced one, you can get in touch with Illimar Mattus.
Roberto is a very humble person, but I really want to tell to our Italian audience as well, who is listening, is that actually all the glory and the shine should go to the side of Roberto, and it's not just some beautiful words. Basically, what we have seen at TTP is that traders who are coming from your academy, your community, have reached payouts, have seen successes. So basically, the work that you are doing in your academy is giving some fruits already, and definitely the Italian traders who don't know you yet, who have time in the end of June, I think they should come and participate at this event, because not very often you can see a professional trader such as Roberto trading real-time live markets, so in front of an audience, and also explaining why he does the things that he does, and why he trades the way that he does, and how he manages the risks, and etc. So very good opportunity to join it. And how can they actually join it? Like how can they express their interest to join?
Well, we will launch as soon as possible, maybe in one day, the site, and they can join our website and via our channels, so TikTok channel and Instagram channel, my personal channel. They can buy the tickets without any problems, and they can easily contact me on my social medias, and they can reserve a spot.
So we will try to put some link down here as well,
Yeah.
as we publish it, so that you can find Roberto and Fair Trading Academy as well. So
yeah.
Thank you, Roberto, for coming to Madrid again, and it's like your second home already. So hope to see you again soon, and for all the watchers, listeners. So please pay attention about the event that is coming very soon in Italy. Napoli, it's a beautiful town, so good opportunity to see live action from a professional trader.
Thank you, Illimar. Thank you for hosting us, and thank you to the Trading Pit. This amazing community we are creating is going to expand and doing great things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.